Wheaton Field here in downtown Millville as we're set to bring you tonight's Cape Atlantic League action between the Holy Spirit Spartans and the Millville Thunderbolts. Mike Gill along with Steve Parker in the booth tonight here at Wheaton Field as we're set to bring you the Thunderbolts and the Holy Spirit Spartans. Steve, a lot of people are anticipating a good matchup here. And, you got Holy Spirit, who's only given up points this year against St. Joe's. You've got Millville, who's been very impressive, had a close loss against St. Joe's that they're hoping to come off the bye and get some revenge for and take it out on Holy Spirit tonight.
I'll tell you, Robert Ennis, obviously, if not the best, one of the best running backs in South Jersey, already starting getting some recruiting noise from some, very big programs throughout the country. And of course, Holy Spirit just has such diversity and so many weapons. You obviously talk about their offense, but their defense, especially Ray Ellis and Jeff Steve. They're a potent defensive team also, and I think that'll be the key to the game. Can they shut down Ennis? Because Holy Spirit is going to score tonight. I really believe that. I just don't know, if Millville can stay with them. An exciting game. It's going to be. I think it'll be a lot of big play games here.
About to find out. Holy Spirit in white with gold pants, gold helmets, set to receive. Millville in all blue with white helmets will kick. They will kick right to left on your radio dial as we're set to bring this action live on 97.3 ESPN and live video of this game at 97.3ESPN.com. Thanks to Almer's Appliance Service, 653-9888 at 97.3ESPN.com. A short kick, and it goes out of bounds, and that's how we're going to start this one as Millville kicks it out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. So not the best start.
It wasn't on purpose. It was definitely trying to kick it in a corner away from the dangerous return from Holy Spirit. It was an angle kick, and I think they might be happy to give them the ball at the 35.
The Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Brian Brumell and his professional staff are waiting to serve you at Boardwalk Honda on Tilton Road in EHT. The Spartans break the huddle with their full house backfield. Anderson under center. Anderson, and he gives to the fullback right up the middle, and he gets up to about the 40-yard line, a gain of about 3.
Yeah, just your basic dive play, just to feel out the interior of the defensive line from Millville, see if they're going to be able to hold up against this Holy Spirit offense. And your offensive line, we saw Hamilton just devastated Hamilton's front four, so it'll be interesting to see if Millville can hang with them there.
DeAndre Dennis carried the football. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Spartans at the 39. Anderson under center with Dennis in the backfield. Sends a man in motion, and he fakes to Dennis and keeps it himself. Anderson to the far side. He's got plenty of running room, and Anderson looks like he is gone. Just like that, Holy Spirit is on the board. And a huge play,
touchdown run by number
61 yards for 71 yards for a touchdown, and 62 yards for a touchdown, and Holy Spirit's quickly on the board, Steve.
I'll tell you what, they went dive first play, just the option. He kept the second play, and he turned the corner untouched, and he had a posse down. He had 4 or 5 guys blocking for him, and nobody had blocked him.
As soon as he hit the corner, it looked very apparent that he was going to go for a long score. 62 yards later, he's in, and Rafici set to kick the extra point. Snap, hold, kick, up, and it's good. So with 11:14 to play, quickly the Spartans score first. They lead it 7-0 here on 97.3 ESPN. Signal Graphics on Silt Road in Egg Harbor Township is your local commercial printer with the personal service you expect. Cut out the middleman, save time and money. Signal Graphics prints full color in-house. Signal's state-of-the-art equipment and expert printing staff allows them to produce an excellent product for a very low cost. For fast turnaround and great prices, call the Gunnels, Riley K. or Chris, 609-569-9990. Signal Graphics. Ever dream about mountains of pot roast or meatloaf just like Mom used to make? Then take a bite out of Golden Corral's daily luncheon and dinner buffets and turn your dreams into reality. Golden Corral is all your home-style favorites: fried chicken, mashed potatoes, fresh baked rolls, a chocolate.
Kickoff out of bounds. Ball will be placed on the 35. First down for the Thunderbolts.
In the backfield. Sends a man in motion to the far side of the field. They hand to Ennis off right tackle. And the whistle blows as the ball comes out, but it looks like Millville will get it back.
By number 1,
Armstead, excuse me, carried the
football. By number 7, Jeff Steve.
He was the motion man who they handed to.
Yeah, just one of their basic plays out of their sets here. They're going to try to do what Spirit did and run something basic and maybe do a misdirection or perhaps pitch the ball, try to get their big guy outside. It'll be interesting to see how many times Ennis carries the ball here.
Rivera in a shotgun, sends a man in motion to the near side. He comes back and sets now in the backfield, and he hands it right up the middle to Ennis. So Ennis picks up the first down with a right up the middle.
Number 5,
I'll tell you what, quick play, just a straight handoff, little power play with a lead blocker, and very impressive how quickly Ennis hit the hole there for junior. He's 5'10", 165 pounds, and he really went through the middle of that line pretty quickly without being touched.
10.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Holy Spirit leads it 7-0. Millville breaks the huddle. Rosado comes to the near side and a slot receiver. Rivera in shotgun, sends Ennis back into the backfield, and he's going to keep it this time with a fake to Ennis. And Rivera is tackled at the 45, nowhere to go, and down he goes. A big tackle on the play, and of course we'll call his name a bunch tonight. It looks like Ellis was in there to make the stop, and also Jeff Steve.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Ellis and Steve are the stalwarts of that really good defense. Ellis on the line, Steve from his linebacker spot, and they came in and really disabled that play when it looked like they were going to make something out of it.
Breaking the huddle, sending a receiver to the far side and one to the near. On the near side, we have Kyle Pierce. Rivera hands to Ennis off right tackle, and he's carrying a running linebacker with him. The first guy to hit him there is T.J. Anderson, the quarterback. They pushed him back. It's going to be third down. It looks like 3rd and 8.
Yeah,
pick up about 2.
Showed some strength there because T.J. Anderson's a big man, and he caught him right in the line of scrimmage. He was able to get a few yards out of it.
3rd and 8 ball at the 48, just short of the midfield stripe. Holy Spirit scored 2 plays into the game on an Anderson 62-yard run. They break the huddle. Off to the far side is Kareem Lotham, and split to the near side is Eichel Young. Split, and it looked like Spirit jumped on a hard count by Rivera, so they might get the first down here.
That's going to bring up probably about 3rd and 2. But I'll tell you what, it's a big play there. It makes it a lot easier in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 2, or 3rd and 7.
That's right. Big play there by Millville. Now they've kind of settled in, it looks like, quickly here.
Yeah, they were stunned. They were really stunned by that play.
3rd down and 3 now. That was a 3rd and 8. Now a much more makeable 3rd and 3. They cross midfield now at the 47-yard line. 8:41 and counting here. A tight formation for Millville with Ennis the single setback. They send a man in motion. They hand to the motion man who comes to the near side. He has a first down to his Armstead, and he crosses the 45 around the 40-yard line. We'll call it the 41. It'll be 1st and 10, Steve, with 8:26 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's a big play for Millville. Not only get the first down, but get other people involved, and a little clock here. Let them settle down after the big play. It's nice to have the ball in your hands for a while, not have to go bring it out.
8-18 and counting from the Spirit 41. Millville sends a receiver to the near side. Lotham. Rivera sends a man in motion. He hands to Ennis. Ennis off right tackle. He's got a place to go. He bounces to the outside. 25, 30, to the 20. Ennis is in for a Thunderbolt touchdown.
41-yard touchdown run by number 5.
41 yards later, he's in for a score. Ray Ellis and the linebacking core got sucked in there with that tight formation. And just like that, Millville is on the board with the extra point pending.
Well, he's quick.
Robert Ennis.
He is quick. Boy, he got through that sliver of that hole, and he was gone.
As soon as he got past the tackle, you called it. You said, go. And there he was. The kick is up. And it's good with 7:59 left to play here in the first quarter. Holy Spirit 7, Millville 7. This is the game of the week on 97.3 ESPN, produced by Prime Events. Connect with Brian Brummel and the sales staff at Boardwalk Honda on Facebook. Skelly's High Point Pub, open 24 hours a day on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and until 3 a.m. the rest of the week. Skelly's is at Shore Road and the White Horse Pike in Epstein. The best in food and drink is available to you every day, and they deliver the High Point ads, dinners from 4 to 10 every day. Daily luncheon specials and all your favorites, pizza and wings and cheesesteaks and surf and turf. There's 7 TVs at Skelly's, all hooked up to satellites for the best sports coverage. Skelly's High Point Pub, 5 North Shore Road in Epsecan. Call the High Point 641-3172 for takeout or delivery. Mike Gill and Steve Parker, Cape Atlantic League football action on 97.3 ESPN. 7-7 our score here in Millville tonight. Kick straight down the middle, sending Gerald deep, and it is going to go out of the end zone and a touchdown.
Yeah,
Kickoff goes into the end zone for a touchback.
It did. So that's a little different theory with the kicking game. Last time they tried to pooch it, this time they just kicked it into the end zone.
So we had an answer from Millville, and now we'll see what Spirit. They've run 2 offensive plays. A 62-yard run has them up early 7-0. Millville ties it up with a long drive.
Well, 4 minutes into the game, we have not been disappointed, I'll tell you that. Loads of offense already by both teams.
You wonder if Millville can keep up with that pace. Wing back with Anderson under center. Dennis right behind him. He hands to Dennis, and no, Anderson's going to keep it himself to the near side. He breaks a first down and then gets to about the 36-yard line before he's finally tackled
by number 12,
Roberto Rivera, the quarterback.
Let me tell you something. They better,
16 on the play.
real fast, they better start finding out where Mr. Anderson is. They better account for him, because at this point they have not. And he's just faking and keeping it. He's going to have a big, big night. There's no defensive end. Usually has quarterback requirements there, and they just did not have anybody.
On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, St. Augustine 7, Bridgeton nothing. Jose Tabora, touchdown pass early in that one. Anderson breaks the huddle on 1st and 10 at the 37. Sends a man in motion. Gerald fakes to Dennis. Now they hand off, and a big tackle as they hand the ball off to Rafici, and he went down immediately.
Good
job at the interior defense there. Look like number 53 from the interior line there. That would be Antoine White, who's their big stud defensive lineman. I'll tell you what, he stopped him on a dime.
Number 53.
He's a 6'3", 270-pound
White.
back.
He's going to Penn State along with Mike Jazicki, who you heard in the pregame show. Spirit breaks the huddle. They send Jordan Taylor to the far side. Anderson under center, a full house backfield with Dennis in front. They handed Dennis up the middle, and he goes right forward for a pickup of about 2. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. And the ball creeping up to the 43-yard line. 6:32 and counting in the first quarter.
It's a dive play that time. It looks like they've interior line there. White is making everybody in there is trying to stand up solid, and they did a nice job there of stopping that. Now, Spirit's either going to probably go to some kind of counter cross or maybe a pass for the first time. Interesting to see, or if they just go back to Anderson around the end. That's been very successful at this point.
3rd and 4. Anderson to throw. Fire. And it is incomplete. In and out of the hands on the far side of the field.
Number 10 falls incomplete.
Boy, well thrown ball. Right in the numbers. Flynn just tried to run before he caught it there. Break for Millville.
And Steve, Spirit doesn't throw the ball that much, so when they do, it's almost like the element of surprise. And maybe these receivers aren't all that polished in doing it either sometimes when they don't catch the ball. Maybe they throw 4 or 5 times a game. We saw one of them there. 4th and 4, Spirit's going to punt from their own 43. Rafici to punt. Ennis stands back around the 25-yard line. High snap. Rafici gets it, takes a couple steps over, and now he punts it off. And it bounces at the 20, takes a Spirit roll, and goes back to around the 11-yard line. That's where the Spartans, or excuse me, the Thunderbolts will start their 2nd offensive drive. So this Thunderbolts defense kind of calmed down there and did a good job.
Another update we have on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Absegami has taken a 7-0 lead over Egg Harbor Township in the first period. Had to go along with the earlier score Mike gave you. St. Augustine beat up 7-0 on Bridgeton. Are the two scores we have to pass along at this time.
Middle Township 6, Ocean City 6 as well on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Tyler Donahue, Pete Giordano back at the station providing us with scores, and others, eyes and ears from all around South Jersey. Keep it right here for the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard all night long. Rivera gives to Ennis. Ennis bounces to the outside. I don't even know if he got back to the line of scrimmage as they start this drive from the 12. Second down and 10.
No gain on the play.
Armstead, the ball carrier. Ennis now entering the game, along with Itrell Young, who's into the game now for Millville, with 5:30 and counting on a perfect night here at Wheaton Field, one of the great venues in the Cape Atlantic League. Armstead split to the near side. Rivera under center, hands a spin. Ennis, he spins off tackle and he has no place to go, and it's going to be third down and probably 7 now. Looks like a pickup of about 3.
Well, they better gang tackle Ennis, because as we've seen, if he gets a little sliver, he's gone. He is lightning quick, and they've done a good job the last couple times there of keeping him exactly where they wanted to, where they got, enough people to come and get him so he can't cut loose. Once he gets loose, it's just too much of a foot race. They're not going to win that race.
So it's 3rd and 7. Rivera splits the huddle with 2 receivers to the far side and 2 to the near side. Double slot formation, empty backfield. Rivera to throw. No pressure. Fires, and it is complete. Complete to the far side of the field in a Millville first down.
Pass is complete. Number 3, Roberto Rivera.
Rivera stepped in there with no pressure.
A good throw. I'll tell you what, he stepped up nice, threw the ball. Nice catch, nice catch by the receiver.
Yeah, Brian Eldridge on the far side of the field with that catch, and he gets him a first down. So it's 1st and 10 at the 24, but I was more impressed with the protection.
Yeah, he had great protection. He stepped up. A sophomore didn't show the little, those happy feet. He stepped up nice.
This time, it's going to be Rivera keeping it himself, and he gets near first down yardage. Second down, a pickup of 8, and it'll be 2nd and 2. The 33-yard line.
Yeah, good play there also. Again, as you said, now they're starting to use all their weapons. They're keying on Ennis a little bit. Now they're using their other weapons, handing off, and quarterback keeping it.
12,
Anderson on the stop for Holy Spirit. We got a little comedy show going on in front of us here.
Yeah. Almost. We should have it on video, Matt. You should got to get this.
2nd and 1. Ball at the 33. Ennis sets in the backfield. They hand it to Ennis. Off right guard. He gets a burst, and he gets a first down up around the 40-yard line. So a pickup of about 6 on the play.
Well, I tell you what, he is quick to the hole. We know he's fast, but usually backs are a little bit on the smaller side. They sort of pick their way through the line. Now Rob Ennis, he hits it with a full head of steam. A really, really nice running job so far.
Number 10, Tyler Flynn.
Tyler Flynn on the stop for Holy Spirit. Spartans tested so far. 1st and 10, Millville at the 39, their own 39, with 3:25 left to play. First quarter action.
Good job by the offensive line from Millville at this point.
Ennis sets himself in the backfield. Now they hand to Ennis. No, he's going to keep it himself, Rivera, and a big stop there by Steve as he read that one nicely. And Holy Spirit with a good job there. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, a little read option that time. And, they tell you to read the defensive end. That defensive end, they tell you if you see his face mask, right? You see your face mask, you give him the ball because he's on you. If you see his ear hole, it means he's cutting down. You keep it outside. And obviously he made a wrong read there. And they tell you they did a nice job that time defensively.
2nd and 10, ball at their own 39. 2:48 and counting. 7-7, Holy Spirit and Millville here at Wheaton Field. Rivera with a tight formation, double slot to the far side, pitch, and not a lot of running room there. In fact, he got a pitch, looked circled right into the middle of the field, and Robert Ennis gets no gain. It's 3rd down and 9 from the 40.
Interesting play that time as I watched the line action. They actually trapped inside. That was designed to go inside, even though they pitched it to him and used his cutback ability. Tough play to.
So it was almost like a pitch counter.
Correctly, and I tell you, that's a tough play to execute. Tough play to defend, and Holy Spirit did a real nice job that time. Ellis again involved with Steve.
Steve's name called a lot. 3rd and 9 at their own 40, a shotgun. Rivera in the shotgun. Back to throw. No pressure. Plenty of time. He fires over the middle, and it is intercepted. Intercepted. It looked like Joe Debo with the pick, playing some center field, and he gets a pick at around the 35-yard line, so almost like a punt.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though, good play by Joe D, because quarterback that time, Regan's receiver right to left, did not see the free safety, who just did a great job back in the center of the field, read the quarterback's eyes, broke to the ball, real good interception.
Joe DiBonaventura with an interception for Holy Spirit. And we go back the other way at 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line for the Spartans, who break the huddle on 1st and 10. They're tied here 7-7. We have a huge crowd and a huge media contingency up here in the press box.
All the big boys are here.
Anderson looks like a misdirection play. Looks like he tried to go to Dennis, but Dennis wasn't there. And Millville gets a sack all the way back at about the 20-yard line.
That was Edward Shockey, number 15.
Quarterback Anderson.
The great linebacker, one of the better defensive players. And I'll tell you what, he came in, and Anderson a lot of times breaks those tackles. But Shockey got a hold of him. He was going nowhere.
Well, it looked like he went to fake to Dennis, but Dennis went the wrong way. And then Anderson didn't know what to do, and he just started running backwards. And as you mentioned, Shockley followed him and brought him down. So a huge loss on the play of 10. It's 2nd down and 20, ball at their own 22-yard line. Spirit now in 2nd and long. When you're a team that doesn't throw the ball, this is tough.
Yeah. Good time for screen and draw, especially screen.
Taylor to the near side. Anderson under center, and he hands it off, and Gerald goes forward. Short of the 30, pickup of about 7.
Yeah, that was strictly trying to get a few yards back. You know, maybe hit a hole, but they were pretty conservative there.
Under a minute to play in the first quarter, so Spirit has a 3rd and 14. Now, if you're a team that doesn't throw much, you're assuming some sort of screen type of pass here. Taylor to the far side. Anderson under center. Double wing formation. Sends a man in motion to the near side. And Anderson drops the football. It's a fumble.
I think he got it back.
He falls right back on top of it, but it's going to be 4th down.
Tell you, not a good series offensively for Holy Spirit. There, a miscommunication, a fumble. You know, that's not what you're looking for, especially with a ball control offense.
It looked like they were going to throw there.
Yeah, absolutely. He was definitely it looked like he stepped out a little too quick, and the ball didn't come with him.
It was like a play action, and it looked like the play action caused him to drop the football. And that's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Holy Spirit 7, Millville 7 here on 97.3 ESPN. As we got a good one brewing so far here on this Friday night. The Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Boardwalk Honda wants your car, and they're paying top dollar. Visit BoardwalkHonda.com. Boardwalk Honda invites you to check out their always up-to-date online inventory, ideal for doing research from the comfort of your own home or office. When you found the Honda models you like, visit Boardwalk Honda, 6807 Tilton Road in Egg Harbor Township, and take a test drive. The service you'll receive is cut above, and Brian Brumel's sales staff is professional yet highly approachable. You'll quickly understand why Boardwalk Honda has such an expansive base of loyal customers. Boardwalk Honda, call toll-free 877-472-6499. About to start the second quarter here, Steve, and so far so good.
So far so good, and we got some action going on around the Cape Atlantic tonight on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Bridgeton has picked off a pass, returner for a touchdown. They trail St. A's 7-6 in the first quarter. Also, Absegami scored again against Egg Harbor Township. They lead 14-0. Ocean City Middle still tied at 6.
7-7 here. Spirit to punt. Rafici back deep. And Ennis stands at around his 30. A low snap. Rafici, almost blocked it. It might have been Nick there. The ball hits the 40 and takes a Spirit roll, though. And it crosses the 30, so the punt's still effective.
Well, I'll tell you, that's when you have a punter who's athletic. You know, a lot of teams, a punter just a punter. Rafici is a defensive back, a running back. You know, he's very good athletic, and it was an athletic play he had to make on the low snap.
Yard line.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Millville with 11:49 left to go in the half. And don't forget, coming up at halftime, Tyler Donahue has scores and highlights from all around the league. He'll get you up to date on everything that's going on in tonight's Cape Atlantic League and any West Jersey Football League scores that he can get his hands on as well.
Well, Mike, in the first 4 minutes of the game, we had 14 points scored. It settled down a little bit here finally.
1st and 10. Rivera in a shotgun. He hands it to Armstead. Armstead up, crosses the 35, up to around the 40-yard line. And he looks like he has first down yardage. We'll see where the spot is. Pick up of about 9 or 10.
Got our first penalty of the game here. Flagged by the lineman. It's either offsides or procedure.
And it is a legal procedure on Millville. So that negates a first down run and sends them back 5 yards, 1st and 15. Ball at the 23.
That's basically a 15-yard penalty because they had 10 on the run. They give up plus the 5-yard penalty. So
live video streaming at 97.3 ESPN.com. Matt Ulmer from Ulmer's Appliance Service every week has our live video coverage. 14-6 now on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. St. Aug over Bridgeton, a 60-yard touchdown run by Lamont Harris there. Inside handoff, Armstead crosses the 25 to the 26, about a 3-yard pickup. More scores on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Middle 6, Ocean City 6, Apsagami 14-0, and Buna is tied with Atlantic City 7-7.
More scores on Atlantic City Electric scoreboard for you. A lot of scoring all of a sudden tonight, huh?
Well, the weather's still nice. You might as well keep chucking it.
Beautiful night, as you said. It's a great night. Weather's perfect. Doesn't get better in this field right here either.
Rivera in a shotgun, trips bunched to the near side, and there's some movement. And then, nope, they got a timeout first. So Millville saw something they didn't like. They call timeout. With 10:54 to play in the half, it's 7-7 Millville and Holy Spirit. Hey, the McMahon Agency broadcasts of Cape Atlantic League sports are brought to you with the support of the McMahon Insurance Agency, voted National Flood Insurance Program Agency of the Year, specializing in home, business, auto, flood, and boat insurance. The McMahon Agency turns protection into peace of mind. If it matters to you, it matters to them. Reach them at 609-399-0060 or online at McMahonAgency.com. The McMahon Insurance Agency of Ocean City, Marmora, and Mays Landing. The coverage you need, the service you deserve. 10:54 to play in the first half, 7-7. Millville and Holy Spirit. 2nd and 12, ball at the 26-yard line. And we're tied. And of course, Millville breaking the huddle on a timeout here. Rivera with a receiver split to the near side, and Armstead in the near side slot. And now we have a whistle. What do we have here?
Wow.
Now Holy Spirit wants a timeout.
Usual back-to-back timeouts. We get a lot of commercials in anyway, Mike. Catch up on the breaks.
The Storage Inn, family-owned business, started more than 3 decades ago. They're at 2527 Fire Road in Egg Harbor Township. The Storage Inn has over 40 different sites to meet your storage needs. Personal, commercial. Storage Inn 7 days a week. 24-hour day, 7-day security. 609-646-6400 for Storage Inn, located in Ocean City or storageinn.net. Their managers are on site to assist you. The Storage Inn of EHT and Ocean City. Short True Value Hardware, Summers Point, hopes you'll continue to shop locally. They offer friendly service, expert advice. At Shore Hardware, they'll do anything to help. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7, Saturdays until 6, Sundays 8 to 4. Help is just around the corner at Shore True Value Hardware, 515 New Road, Summers Point, 927-6464. Online at shorehardware.com. 2nd and 12, ball at the 26 of Millville. The Thunderbolts send Armstead to the near side, Ennis in the backfield, Twins to the far side. Rivera under center, and he hands to Ennis off tackle. He bounces it to the outside, and he gets pushed out of bounds for no gain.
Real good defense that time as they set the edge, and Ennis tried to bounce, nowhere to go, and they just reeled him right out of bounds, like you said. Good defense out there. Looks like a right cornerback over there. Looks like number 13 for Holy Spirit that made that play. We're going to give that to Raheem Harris, who's a 5'9", 175-pound senior. Nice play, though, as he just, stood his ground and bounced him out.
On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard at the end of 1. Buna and AC tied 7-7. Ocean City and Middle 6-6. All these at the end of 1. So those games a little bit behind us. And Highland 7, Cumberland nothing in the West Jersey League. 3rd and 11, ball at the 27. And there goes a flag
I think Ennis is offside.
The slot receiver, Ennis, like he was a little early in the 40-yard dash there. He just kind of got that burst.
I think he's running a fly or an out and up because he was 30 yards downfield. He was open, though.
So 3rd and 16 now. It's always an embarrassing moment where you're the one, especially when you're a receiver like that and you're just shooting down the field and nobody's going with you. 3rd and 16. Ball at their own 22 now. Rivera with an empty backfield. 5 wides. Plenty of time. He airs one out, and it is almost intercepted by Di Bonaventura. Boy, this quarterback Rivera can air it out, though.
Yeah, what they did that time is they ran Ennis out early, and he ran about a 15-yard stop, and then they tried to run the second receiver right by him. Hopefully he would step up, and good coverage again by Holy Spirit.
He threw that almost 55 yards with no problem.
I'll tell you what, it was on the line too. It wasn't like he had a lot of air under that.
I'll tell you what, though, is more impressive, though, is the line. I mean, they are just dominating.
Haven't laid a glove on him.
Nothing. Here's a punt. And the punt is a short end over end. It bounces at the 45-yard line, crosses the 50, and then across the Holy Spirit 45, and it's touched up right there by Millville, and the Spartans will get the ball back with 9:48 left to play in the half. First guy down there was DeJour Brown to hit it was the guy who touched it first for Millville. So 1st and 10 for Holy Spirit. And so far, Millville, after that first play, has been up to the challenge.
It's been shocking. You've seen the first first series for each team offensively. It looked like it was going to be, it's going to be Oregon,
some sort of
Washington,
Pac-12
but I'll tell you
game.
what, going to a real good defensive battle so far after that.
1st and 10 for the Spartans. They got it at their own 43. Gerald in motion. They keep it with Anderson. Anderson bounces to the outside, and boy, nice open field tackle, and Anderson's down. Steve Parker, he got hit right in that thigh area, and he is not getting up.
No, he's not. That's Raquel Armstead who made that tackle. Number 1, the junior defensive back. He came up with a nice tackle. You said Anderson really got stuck there.
With Anderson down, 7-7, 9:38 left to play here in the first half. It's a good time to let you know that under the Flood Insurance Reform Act of 2012, you could save more than $90,000 over 10 years if you build 3 feet above base flood elevation. The all-star staff at Baumgartner House Lifting can attend all your family house raising needs. The Baumgartner family has 65 years of combined experience in general construction. Visit BaumgartnerHouseLifting.com or call toll-free at 855-324-2700. Baumgartner House Lifting, restoring the Jersey Shore, one home at a time. Anderson's still down.
I'm not sure if they're looking at his leg or his knee. He's in quite a bit of pain.
It looked like he got hit high up in that thigh area, but obviously we can't tell from where we're sitting. In fact, they're telling both teams to get off the field here.
That's not a good sign. Well, we have a minute, though. We hope T.J. Anderson's going to be okay as they attend to him. We'll get a chance. We'll go over the scoreboard, the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. We have Atlantic City 7, Bunicef at the end of 1. St. Augustine's 14, Bridgeton 6 at the end of 1. Ocean City and Middle 6-6, end of 1. Absegami 14, Egg Harbor Township nothing, and Highland 7, Cumberland nothing. And we don't have, what we're looking for, maybe we have the Oakcrest Mainland game. The only score we're looking for.
Atlantic City just scored, by the way.
Make it 14-7. Is that correct?
Is that what you said?
No, I had 7-7.
Yeah, 13-7 Atlantic City.
Okay.
T.J. Anderson, the quarterback for Holy Spirit, is down, and he is not looking anywhere close to getting up here. And as I said, he gets up, but he is limping very noticeably.
Good to see him get up. I tell you, he's a really great player, not only offensively, but defensively. He's a really outstanding defensive player also.
9:38 to play. First half. Big loss there. And he runs a lot of the offense through his legs. And we'll see who comes in to take over the quarterback duties for Holy Spirit when they break this huddle. It looks like Andrew Light is in the game, a junior from Absecon. 2nd and 5, ball at the 48. Light with a full house backfield. He turns, he hands, he gives it to Gerald, and Gerald has no place to go. And they are going to have a 3rd down and about 5.
Yeah, but that was an important play for Spirit, just to get a new quarterback, hand the ball off, get the feel of the game. Don't try to do too much the first play. You know, now they'll run their offense, but he had to make sure that he was comfortable being in that setting. He hasn't probably played a whole lot this year. And in a big game like this, you know, you want to make sure you're comfortable in the game before you try to do something.
3rd and 4. Light breaks the huddle short of the 50-yard line with the old wing T-look. Light to throw. 2-step drop. He fires into the flat, and it's too high for Taylor. And it's going to be 4th down at midfield. What do you do?
I think he's going to punt, especially with your quarterback hurt. I think you don't want to turn the ball over and give him a short field.
Pass broken up by number 4.
Frank Woolley, a 9-yard touchdown run after a middle fumble. Ocean City 12, middle 6 on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Fourth and 4, Spirit will punt. And a flag on the play.
Spirit had 12 guys. Good coverage that way.
Flag on the play.
One of the Spartan linemen was running off the field, but he was already set. He got unset and ran across the field. 4th and 9, Raffici to punt. Stands around his 35-yard line. Ennis back deep for Millville. Good snap. Raffici runs, and he is going to punt it. Low punt, hits at the 30, rolls back to the 20, all the way to the 15, to the 10-yard line. That looks like one of those plays where they tell the punter, run if you think you can get it, go, and if not, because Raffici's such a dynamic player.
Very good play, and they do it all the time, but unless they change the rule, which I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. Unless they change the rule, though, once he starts to run, he no longer can be a roughing the punter. He now becomes a running back, so they can take shots at him. They laid off a little bit there. I think if I was a defensive guy and get that close, you got to make him, know he's not going to be able to get away with that.
Well, it's interesting. It seems like when there's no pressure, he'll run around until somebody finally comes after him, so that the coverage team can get down there.
Very smart play.
3 receivers bunched to the near side. Now they send a short motion man, a pitch to the near side, and boy, right down. Ennis goes. Boy, immediately, as soon as he caught the pitch, he went down.
Well, he did. They had a blitz right into the run play that time. I can't quite the number. I tell you what, defensive back or come up. Yeah, it was Raffici. That's who it was. 24. He's on a blitz. They had a run blitz, and he ran right into the play.
You could watch a Spirit game and be amazed at how many different ways you can call Raffici's name.
Oh, I'll tell you what. We did a Hammond game. He did everything. He was just, They might have some bigger and stronger players, but I'll tell you what, he's the heart of that team.
Rivera hands to Armstead, and Armstead has no place to go. And it's going to be 3rd down. It was 2nd and 13 there. It looks like it's going to be 3rd and about 13.
All of a sudden, the game got very conservative.
Two on the play.
Pickup of about 2, so 3rd and 11. Ball at their own 9. 7:45 and counting. Don't forget, halftime. The halftime show with Tyler Donahue is coming up. He's got scores from all over tonight. 7-7 here with 7:33 to play. Ball at their own 9, 3rd and 11. And they keep it conservative on the ground. They give it to Ennis. Ennis to the outside. He breaks a tackle. Now he's going to cross back the other way. He gets a block. Ennis now. It has lots of room up the sideline. Has a 1st down. Reverse course.
Wow, let me tell you, as a junior to do that, to have the confidence to retreat into your own end zone against a team like Holy Spirit, I'll tell you, that takes a lot of confidence and a lot of athletic ability.
They almost seemed like they were just kind of giving up there and just kind of clearing some room to punt.
I don't know what's going on in Egg Harbor Township, though, man. They are, again, giving up points and bundles. They're down 20-0 to Absegami on the Atlantic Electric scoreboard in the 2nd quarter.
Also on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Capadonna Miller with an 8-yard touchdown run. The Hermits lead the Bulldogs 14-12 with 7:59 left. Here it's 7-7 with 7:13 to play in the half. Rivera under center. Keeps it himself straight ahead, and he'll take a 3-4-yard pickup.
Yeah, that's probably some kind of automatic audible where he taps the center and says, I'm keeping the ball, some kind of defense that they saw. And real nice play. You said get 4 yards.
Under 7 minutes to play. The Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Brian Brumell and his professional staff are waiting to serve you at Boardwalk Honda on Chilton Road in Egg Harbor Township. 2nd and 6, ball at the 29. Lotham to the near side. And it looks like Armstead getting the carry. He breaks out of a tackle. Ooh, he almost broke out of a tackle, but there he is. Rafici at his feet.
Hey, I tell you, like you said, how many ways can we talked about what he does as a punter, as a defensive player. He's a man who does not miss tackles, I'll tell you that. He hasn't carried the ball as much tonight as we've seen him in the past, but I'm sure somewhere in this game you're going to be calling his name offensively also.
3rd and 4 at the 31-yard line for Millville. On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Eastern leads Clearview 7-0. Tom Flacco, 6 of 8 for 59 yards. He needs 151 more yards to reach 6,000 yards. We had another quarterback, Dylan Cummings, do that a couple of weeks ago for Pennsville. Timeout on the field. 6 minutes to play in the half. 7-7. We're tied. Millville, Holy Spirit. Captain Charlie, 823-8891, Blue Water Graphics. We break the huddle on 3rd and 4 at the 31 with 6 minutes to play here in the first half. Rivera in a shotgun. Trips to the bunch to the near side. They send a man in motion. Rivera with time. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Now he's flushed by Ellis. Rivera looking. Still time. Throws, and it is incomplete. Threw it into the Spirit sideline.
But what a heady play by the sophomore. I mean, he just, stood in the pocket, and he just really impressive. I'm sorry, he's a senior, but whatever he is, it's still.
I was going to say, if
play,
he's a sophomore, they got a kid who's going to be very tough.
The St. A guy I was thinking about, but Rivera just stood there and waited for somebody to clear, gets a little pressure, and didn't panic. He moved to his left, still looking downfield. Finally, he says, nobody's open. Let me throw this out of bounds.
You said sophomore. I was like, wait a second. There's no way this kid's a sophomore.
I was
the way
thinking
he's
the St.
playing.
A guy who impressed me a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he is
4th
a
and
sophomore.
4. The punt on 4th down and 4 crosses the 50, hits the 45, and takes a thunderbolt roll, and it hits at the 35-yard line. Holy Spirit will have 5:38 to play with the football here. So there's not been a lot of offense since those 2 opening drives.
Nothing. I mean, it's been a couple first downs, but both defensive, and Holy Spirit shot itself in the foot a little bit. They've had some problems, with fumbles and sacks, but interested to see if T.J. Anderson comes back out.
On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Middle 13, Ocean City 12. That's in the second quarter. Light under center. 5:36 to play. Holy Spirit loses their starting quarterback, T.J. Anderson, and Andrew Light is in the game. And Light fakes to Dennis, gives to Gerald. Not much there.
Well, I tell you, after the second play of the game, when Anderson went a long way, this defense from Millville has really stepped up. That was Ed Shockey again. We called his number more than once tonight in the linebacker position. He's making a lot of tackles, and I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with Millville after the early part of the game. The crowd went silent after the second play. They have really turned it around, and right now they getting the upper hand on Holy Spirit.
By the way, that was Ymir McNeil with a 2-yard run for Middle. That's from @CMC Sports. Brian Kniff tweeting that. Score out. We'll get you more scores throughout this evening. Here it's 7-7. 2nd and 9. Like the throw. He stepped up. He fires. He's got a man, and it is complete down the sideline. No, they waved him out of bounds. He was unable to keep his feet. Caught the football, but was pushed out on the far sideline there. Great defensive play by Raquel Armstead.
I'll tell you, he's another one of those guys who are playing both sides of the ball, and that was really a heady defensive play. As you said, he went up, had possession, did a real nice job just pushing him out of bounds.
Please report to the back of the press box.
Good throw, though, by Light. He laid it right out there where it had to be.
You just talked about Egg Harbor Township. We got an Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, 20-0 Absegami, with 10 and change left until half. David Hood has 130 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns before halftime. What has happened out there at EHT? I mean,
really
week in and week out, this is happening to them.
They're really struggling. It's a shame.
3rd and 9. Sends a man in motion, and there's a flag. And the flag was thrown.
Delay a game, that's why. That was his call back here.
Delay of game against Holy Spirit. 3rd down and 14.
They're going to move him back 5. Third and 14 now. Ball at their own 32. Light under center. Receiver split to the near side. Single setback, offset eye. Light barking out the signals. Sends a man in motion. They hand it Dennis. Now they pitch it to Gerald. And it's taken down nicely there. Looks like William Polhamus makes looks like they faked it to Dennis and then pitched it to a man.
Yeah, Shockey was in on that play again too. We called his name a lot, but yeah, that was a pitch right with an inside reverse on the pitch.
No flag.
Well defensive set there by Millville. Again, it's going to be 4th and long, about 20 yards.
Slow developing play there.
Was a slow developing play.
4th down and 18, ball at their own 28, and the Spartans are going to punt again. This has got to be the most frustrating offensive night of the season for them.
I don't know if you said earlier, but that third touchdown for Apsingami was a 90-yard run by David Hood.
That's why he's got 130 yards already. Ball punted, bounced at the 40, crosses the 30, Ennis gets out of the way. It's going to roll all the way back to the 20.
The punters have been amazing. They haven't really kicked the ball that far, but both of them have got that end-over-end roll going 15, 20 yards every time it punt. Somebody got to catch that ball.
It's been the punt returner position has struggled this year in high school, the NFL. I mean, you're seeing guys making tough decisions. Now, that's not the easiest job in football, but that one there, again, bounces and just rolls and ends up being a 50-yard punt. Ball at the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 for Millville with 4:21 left to play. Rivera in a shotgun. Sends a man in motion to the near side. Now he hands to the motion man, Ennis. Ennis cuts up at the 20, breaks a tackle, tries to get to the 25. He falls short. Pickup of about 4.
That was a pretty good 4-yard run, though. He made 4 guys miss tackles before they brought him down.
Tackle by number 21, Mike Mooney.
Mike Mooney on the stop there. And Franco Raffici helping out. Pickup of 5, 2nd and 5, ball at the 23.
Gain of 5 on the play.
3:57 and counting, 2nd down. And on the scoreboard they have 4. So a pickup of 6 on that little run. He makes a lot out of nothing there. Shotgun formation. Sends a man in motion. They fake to the motion man. Now they give it to Ennis, who kind of tries to duck behind some linemen, but very nice play.
Another Spirit player is not getting up.
Sean Coursey and Jeff Steven there.
Tyler Flynn.
He does. Mike Palumbo in on that. I'm sorry. Number 10, you said Tyler Flynn in on that tackle, and he's shaking up a little bit, but he's going to try to walk it off.
3:20 and counting. 3rd down and 3. Millville trying to get a 1st down to keep possession. In a shotgun. Rivera hands it straight up the middle to Ennis, who bounces into his own lineman and then tries to bounce it to the outside. He had no place to go, and he's going to be well short of a 1st down.
Good defensive set that time.
Number 7, Jeff Steve.
Andre Dennis, number 44 for Holy Spirit, did a nice job stepping up and stuffing that play. He had some help along with number 7, Sean Coursey, the sophomore lineman.
So Millville's content on just punting it right back to them there.
It looks like right now, they're, if you'd have told me 7.5, I'd say, no, I don't think we're watching the wrong game, especially after the first 4 minutes.
Low snap. It's picked up and punted quickly. It's spiraling, bouncing at the 43-yard line. Now rolls across the 50, and Millville touches it right there. So about a 36-yard punt, and it's touched by Gabriel Rosado, and Holy Spirit will get the football back on 1st and 10 at the 49.
Slowly, Holy Spirit's gaining the field advantage every time on a punt. They're gaining 5 yards, 10 yards. That time it was about a 15, 20-yard difference from where they punted from. They're back at the 50-yard line. Ocean
City back in the lead with a field goal after a 74-yard kick return. Ocean City 15, Middle 13 on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. 2:24 left with a 7-7 game here. Holy Spirit leads. Light still in at quarterback with Anderson on the sideline injured. They hand it to Dennis. Dennis off right tackle with plenty of room, and he rumbles through a safety with a big 1st down, crosses the 35-yard line, and there's finally some opening.
I'll tell you what, but that safety tried to come up and take him on, and he's just lucky he got down in time. He's like a road grader there. He's just going to make him some highway, and I'll tell you, a real good play that time. They just went inside back to where they started the game. Hand the ball to the big guy.
Big pickup of 21 on the play. 1st and 10. Ball at the 32. Coming up on 2 minutes. Light under center. Receiver split to the near side. Full house backfield. And they hand it to Gerald off right tackle. Gerald sidesteps, and then he gets up a pickup of about 6.
Carried by number 4.
Time he ran behind Dennis.
Gerald.
Dennis was the lead blocker. Looked like the same place, though, on the right side of the line, guard tackle. And it looks like they're starting to find a little push there. They ran right at
Tackled by number 53,
big number 53
Antoine White.
for Millville. Antoine White in the run. They ran right at him the last 2 times. Got to be getting a good block on him. Somebody's doing the job, or they're double teaming him.
2nd and 3. Ball at the 25. 132 left. Light to throw. Stepped up, and he's got a man. He tries to do a fade, and it is intercepted in front of the goal line. Intercepted on the far sideline. Heading up the sideline and getting out of bounds there is Roberto Rivera.
You know, we're starting to call a lot of same guys on both sides of the ball here. There's a lot of two-way players in this game. Again, that was just like the interception the Holy Spirit made. Did not see the free safety. He just read his eyes, went to the ball, got it at the point.
Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Check out their online inventory at boardwalkhonda.com. With 1:20 left to play in the first half, it's still 7-7. Millville with the football. Offsetting penalties, unsportsmanlike after the interception, though, so it'll still be Millville football.
I'll tell you what, they got a lot of confidence, Andrew Light. He had a pass dropped earlier, threw that one in the corner of the end zone. It was a really good defensive play there. But he's come in, and he's I'll tell you, for a junior who hasn't played a lot, come into a game like this, I'm impressed with him. Even though he threw the pick there, he seems like he's a pretty heady player.
Boy, Absegami scored again. It's 27-0 on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. And Mainland 0-0 with Oakcrest will get you more scores on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard after this play. Rivera, hands off. Boy, wow. Handed off and got pancaked. Robert Ennis got smoked.
Trying to get the numbers. Big.
Looked like Ellis, the middle linebacker.
By number 70.
And also
Clayton.
TJ Clayton is a junior, 6'2", 245. Spirit 7-7 here. Under a minute to play. We've got Absegami 27-0 over EHT. St. Aug 13, Bridgeton 12. Ocean City 15, Middle 13. AC 13, Buna 7. And Oakcrest and Mainland 0-0. Here at 7-7 on 2nd and 9. And it looks like Ennis picks up about 2.
5, Robert Ennis. Tackled by number 7, Jeff Steve.
Jeff Steve in there again, and Steve getting a helping hand from Rafici. Rafici
3rd down and 7.
is 5'8", 185, and Steve is 6'2", 240. 25 seconds here. You even run a play on this 3rd down and 7.
Oh, absolutely. You get Mr. Ennis in the backfield. I'd give him the ball one more time. You never know.
Let's see. They look like they could be in position just to go right up the middle, and they do. And they give it to Armstead. Armstead, short of a 1st down. He's going to get out
by number 1,
for a pickup of about 5, and I think that's going to be the final play of the first half. It is the final play here at Wheaton Field in Millville tonight, where a huge crowd on hand to see Holy Spirit, the #1 team in the area, taking on Millville. And so far, we've been very excited with what we've seen early on, and then the game just kind of mellowed out there a little bit.
Very surprising at this point to me. I really thought it would be more of an offensive battle, but I tell you, give Millville a lot of credit. Millville is, they've got not only touchdown, they moved the ball a little bit, but defensively, I understand T.J. Anderson's out now, but earlier when Anderson was in the game too, defensively they did a great job shutting them down.
Coming up, the halftime show back at the 97.3 ESPN FM studios. Tyler Donahue.
Initial costs out, but in the long run, it saves some money, and it's a beautiful facility. Really, Atlantic City should be proud of it. About to start the second half here as Rafici approaches, and he swings his right leg through the football and pounds it all the way down to the 5. Back deep, taking it for Millville. Crossing the 10, 15, 20, and brought down right there. Taking the ball out of right before the end zone.
By number 29, Lawson Worthy.
It looked like Worthy was returned, but I'll tell you, here's the thing that both teams have done. They both boost their first kickoffs. The second ones, they boom deep. So it's interesting, what they've changed their theory after one kickoff. I guess they didn't want to give the short field.
1st and 10 for Millville. They'll start at the 23. Holy Spirit scored on the 2nd play of the game. They've been shut out since. Rivera under center. Starts with Ennis in the backfield. Play action fake. Rivera rolls. He's got some pressure. Still looking. Now he stops. He pumps. He fires. And it is up for grabs and nearly intercepted on the far side of the field. Defending on the play for Holy Spirit was Angelo Dawson, one of the best in the area. A.J. Dawson.
Yeah, we talked about what a good play the quarterback made, Rivera, the last time we had pressure. That time was not a good play. He threw it up in the midst of 4 defenders, and real lucky it wasn't picked off. He needed to throw that one away also, I think. 2nd
and 10, ball to 23 for Millville. So they go play action, the first play. You like that call, though, trying to surprise Atlantic City right out of the gates.
Oh, yeah, I like
Excuse me, Holy Spirit.
I like the theory behind it, but when you don't have anybody open, you got to throw that away. You can't throw to a crowd 4 guys.
TJ Anderson's got an ice bag on his knee on that sideline. He looks to be done for the night. Rivera in a shotgun, empty backfield. Plenty of time. Looking, still looking. Plenty of protection. Now he's going to be pressured as he rolls. Still looking. Now he's going to keep it, and he goes down. Looks like they got him right around the line of scrimmage. Good defense down the field by the Holy Spirit secondary. Picks up 2, and it's going to be 3rd down and 8.
I'll tell you what, though, man, it's just cool under pressure. You know, he kept looking, kept, moving side to side, get out of the pocket. I think receivers there, and high school receivers a lot of times don't do this, Mike. They get down that deep, you got to start coming back. You got to come back for your quarterback, back to the ball. All the receivers were 30 yards downfield. You got to come back and find an open area so we can get the ball to you.
3rd and 8, ball to 25. Under 11 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. 7-7. Millville with the ball. We're tied here at Wheaton Field in Millville. Rivera, and there's whistles, and it looks like Millville calls a timeout with 10:47 left to play in the 3rd quarter. 7-7 our score. For 40 years, Capri Pizza and Grill has been your favorite pizzeria. Now with the new location, they've improved on everything that made them the best. You'll remember them from the Shore Mall. Come see owner Rocco at Capri's new location, 900 Tilton Road, Northfield. Capri is home of the world's best pizza. Come see why. Capri Pizza and Grill, 900 Tilton Road in Northfield. Rocco's there now. Why aren't you? Harbor Pines Golf Club, Egg Harbor Township, Championship Golf, extraordinary course conditions, membership options for every type of golfer. Go to harborpines.com. And the Bellevue Tavern, Main Street, Cape May Courthouse. You can see Tyler Donahue there probably on a Saturday night. Great food and great times at the Bellevue. Enjoy all the good times, games, and their signature burgers, colossal salads, great local seafood. Visit them on the web at bellevuetavern.com.
Tell you a little information we got on the St. A's game. Francisco, their big wide receiver, first half, 7 catches, 140 yards.
3rd and 8. Rivera to throw. Looking, firing, complete to Ennis, and Ennis is hit immediately by Rafici, and he's short of a first down at the 30-yard line, and Ennis got belted on that play.
He got up a little slow also, too. Now we talk about Rafici again, making a play.
I'm walking out at halftime, Steve, and the PA announcer says to one of the Millville coaches, hey, you know who's a pretty tough player? That 24.
You think? Boy, I would have seen that on film from the first week when he played Hamilton.
On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, a punt is off by Millville. It hits at the 45, and that's where it stops right there. And Holy Spirit will get the football. Gabriel Rosado downs it. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Spartans at their own 45 on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. West Deptford 14, Sterling 7 at the half. Gerald Owens, a 1-yard touchdown run. We know Gerald Owens' name a lot. We called it plenty of times in that Cedar Creek championship game last year at Rowan. But 14-7 was Sterling there. So you got to start keeping your eyes on the West Jersey games and some of those short conference games, because now the playoff implications start settling in 5 games into the year.
Yeah, he was a stud, I'll tell you what. He was an absolute stud.
Light under center. Talib Gerald in motion. He pitches to Gerald. Gerald trying to hit the corner at the 50. He knocked out of bounds. Ooh!
Got to be a flag.
And he goes right into the Millville bench on the sideline here.
Wow.
No flags on the play, though.
Wow. They rode him out pretty hard. Number 70. I don't even know if he's on the field.
Fred Jackson, one of the linemen, he got hit, I think, and injured sitting on the bench.
I don't think he was on the field. It was only, maybe 10 yards, but,
Second down.
man, they drove him.
He's writhing in pain. Look at him. He's holding like his lower back area. He's just sitting on the Millville bench on the sideline, and Gerald ran right into him, and he hit the back of that bench. Look at it. He is in big-time pain.
Talk about Talib Gerald. We called his name often during the season. Millville's done a good job of holding him to very little.
2nd and 3. Light under center. Sends a man in motion. Dawson. Now he's going to throw. He's going to keep it. And down he goes. Got him in the backfield. Edward Shockley. We've called his name a bunch.
And there was a miscommunication there. He turned the wrong way, or somebody went the wrong way, because he turned to do a play fake, but there's nobody there, and he just said, uh-oh, this play's not going to work. I can get down.
Don't forget, you can watch the live video of this game streaming on our website, 973ESPN.com. Thanks to Matt Ulmer from Ulmer's Appliance Service. You can watch all of our games each and every Friday night on 973ESPN.com. And, of course, right now you'll see that this one has been a stalemate so far. 7-7. 3rd down and 4. Ball at the 49. Light under center. Rafici in motion. Pitches to Rafici on the far side. And Rafici gets a first down and more. He's got some room to the far side. And he gets a first down and plus about another 20 yards. So a huge pickup on the play for Franco Rafici.
That might be the first time he carried a ball tonight.
I think it is.
And I'll tell you what, it's pretty good average, isn't it? 1 for like 30?
1st and 10 at the 27. It seems that any time he touches the ball, he does something. You wonder why he's not more involved in the offense.
Well, they've been so successful with Gerald and up inside with Dennis and stuff that he's been like the third wheel here, but maybe they should give him the ball a little bit more this game.
1st and 10, Rafici in it, one of the wingbacks. Light under center, sends a man in motion, and he gives to Dennis, the fullback, and they stack him up, pushing him back.
Still going to get 3 or 4 yards out of a good first down play, and they're getting to the position of field. Even a field goal might come into play. And who kicks for Holy Spirit?
Rafici. 2nd and 7, pick up a 3 by Dennis. 8:28 to play. 3rd quarter.
By the way, St. Augie's quarterback Tabora is 10 for 15, 196, and 2 touchdowns at halftime.
At halftime, wow. Light under center. And it looks like he wants to call a timeout here, as he saw something in the Millville defense that he wasn't all that thrilled with the score. Holy Spirit 7, Millville 7. This is the Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week, produced by Prime Events. Check out their online inventory at boardwalkhonda.com. When you're faced with a civil trial case like personal injury, employment discrimination, or negligence, you need the right lawyer to represent you. Make the right call. Goldenberg Mackler, locations in Atlantic City, Northfield, Rio Grande, and Vineland. 609-344-7131, online at gmslaw.com. East Coast knows how important your home is, and they personally guarantee to continue that same trusted service that they've been providing for more than 35 years. When you're ready for roofing, siding, or windows, call East Coast, 609-646-1444, online at eastcoastroofing.com. United Rentals, the right tools and equipment for all your construction needs. United Rentals, 740 West Delilah Road, Pleasantville. UnitedRentals.com or 800-UR-RENTS. Mike Gill, Steve Parker, and live video from Matt Ulmer at 97.3ESPN.com here at Wheaton Field in Millville. 2nd down and 7. Light under center. He sends a man in motion, and he hands to Dawson, and Dawson plows forward. I think he's short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and 2.
The first time we called A.J. Dawson offensively, so they're getting some different running backs in the game here.
Tackled by number 5, Robert
Another
Dawson.
update. We got another update on Land Electric scoreboard. Mainland and Oakcrest are tied at 14 apiece in the 3rd quarter, Mike.
Dawson missed the first couple games of the year due to injury, and he's one of the better defenders in the not only the Cape Atlantic League but South Jersey. 3rd and 2, ball at the 19. Spirits driving. 7:28 to play in the 3rd quarter. Andrew Light in at quarterback. They send Dawson in motion. They pitch it to Dawson on the far side, who has a first down. And into enemy territory now, as the Spartans are inside the 15-yard line at the 12. So it's 1st and 10. They can still get another first down.
I think it was Jordan Taylor, the big wide receiver, 6'4", 195, made a real good block on the corner. He injured himself a little bit, but that was the key to that play. But they ran the pitch. He blocked down on the corner, gave him some room, and as you said, first down.
So 1st and 10. They're going to mark it at the 11 now.
Methodical play here by Holy Spirit.
Rafici, a good field goal kicker too, so well within his range. Light under center. Dennis, the fullback, right behind him. Raffici in motion. They fake, and it looked like Dennis went the wrong way again. Or either that or Light did. Light went to hand to somebody or fake a hand, and nobody was there, Steve, and he got swallowed by the Millville defense.
Again, that's what happens when you're backup. You know, it's just like you talk about the Eagles. So who's the starter, who's the backup? You don't get a lot of reps. Doing practice. I'm sure that most of the reps were taken by Anderson. Light's got to come in here, and there's been some miscues on who's going which way.
He still got 3 yards on the carry, even on the miscue. So 2nd and 7, ball at the 8. 6:40 to play in the 3rd. Light under center. Sends Raffici in motion. He fumbled the football. The ball's on the ground, and it looks like Dennis fell on top of it. We'll have to see. Everybody always points thinking they have it, but I think Dennis got it first.
Spirit got it back.
Holy Spirit recovers.
That's 2 plays in a row there. Miscues down in the red zone there. You can't have that.
Buna trailing tonight, 33-7 against Atlantic City. They get the ball to start the second half. That game's over on AM 1450, our sister station, with Tom Getsky on the call over there. 3rd and 7. Big play here for Spirit. Ball at the 8. They can get a first down. Light barking out the signals. Sends a man in motion. He pitches to Gerald, the motion man, and Gerald has no place to go, and down he goes. A big loss on the play, and Roberto Rivera, the quarterback, makes the tackle from his safety position. Now they knock him out into a 4th and 9 situation. You got to think that you can't go for this now. You got to kick a field goal.
Raffici's coming in and kicked a field goal. I'll tell you, they're successful going left with a pitch. They tried it one too many times. You said Roberto Rivera came up fourth and made a tackle. Big play.
Ball at the 10-yard line. 22-yard field goal attempt here for Raffici. Hold, kick, up, and it spirals to the left, and it is good.
Boy, just snuck it inside the left upright. Plenty of leg.
Kick is good.
Big kick there by Raffici to give Millville, to give Holy Spirit a 10-7 lead. You said 5:08 left, and that was a big kick. We'll give him credit for 9, I believe. Mike, did you get the 10-yard line? Gives him a 20-yard field goal, we'll call it, to take the lead at the 5:08 mark of the 3rd period.
So with 5:08 left to play, Holy Spirit leads 10-7. It's the Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week, produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Boardwalk Honda wants your car, and they're willing to pay top dollar. Visit boardwalkhonda.com. You know, Interstate Batteries in Egg Harbor Township, now they're 10th largest in the country, bringing their excellent service to 7 counties in South Jersey. Not only do they have the battery for your car, but your boat, RV, motorcycle, truck, power chair, golf cart, whatever you need. Interstate Batteries, #1 replacement battery in America at 6064 Riga Avenue in Egg Harbor Township. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. If you need a battery, you'll find it at Interstate Batteries. Tested and trusted. They're outrageously dependable. Raffici, dependable as well. His 20-yard field goal makes it 10-7. Holy Spirit leading Millville with 5:08 to play in the 3rd quarter. The live video streaming at 97.3 ESPN.com. Thanks to Matt Ulmer from Ulmer's Appliance Service in Ocean City. The short kick picked up by Armstead at the 10. He makes a little move. Now he crosses field, and he goes down at the 20. Looked like he was...
Dangerous play. Let that ball bounce. Catch that ball in the air, son. Ooh, that was dangerous. Takes a funny hop there. They're going to be down in the shadow of their old goal line.
So Millville got 80 yards of real estate in front of them on 1st and 10.
1st and 10.
Now Millville scored on a nice drive in the 1st quarter, but it seems like they've gotten a little conservative since that time.
Yeah, they, it was a big run, of course, by Ennis, but they threw the ball a little bit early. Now they've stopped doing that too, and pretty impressive, their quarterback.
Well, they got an empty backfield now with 4 wide receivers. Rivera in a shotgun. They hand it to Ennis. Ennis bounces to the outside, breaks the tackle. There's a flag on the play.
And that's in the hold area.
Carried by #5, Robert Ennis.
They're going to be bringing that one back.
Tackled by #21, Mike Mooney.
That is a call.
Flag on the play.
Holding is going to bring back, going to give him a 1st and 25, depending where the ball is spotted.
Nova.
Somewhere around that area.
So Raffici with a 27-yard field goal to give him a 3-point lead. We're late in the 3rd quarter here. on 97.3 ESPN. Big battle for Holy Spirit. They are being pushed here by Millville, at Millville on this Friday night.
And I'll tell you, coming into the game, thought it might be a good game. Did not see it being a defensive struggle, though.
No.
Thought the offensive would definitely, be the main part of this game. Has not been that way.
1st and 20 after the hold. Rivera in shotgun. Rivera hands to Ennis. Ennis bounces, and he has nowhere to go. He tried to bounce to the outside, but Jeff Steeb, he will have none of it tonight.
No game on the play.
I'll tell you what, you got to give a lot of credit to this defensive front for Holy Spirit. They gave up the one long run earlier, but since then they've done a pretty good job of shutting down Mr. Ennis.
Shockley entering the game at receiver.
Again, what these teams got to do, in my opinion, is they got to throw the ball first down. You can't be throwing the ball in high school in 3rd and long because everybody knows you're going to do it. Go play action Ennis, maybe. Millville might find somebody open on 1st down.
After a pickup of 1, it's 2nd and 19 at the 11. And this time Rivera's under center. And he's going to hand it to Ennis. Ennis to the right side, bounces to the outside. He gets all the way to the Spirit sideline where they push him out of bounds. And it looks like Holy Spirit's made some adjustments.
Well, they have. They've done a real nice job of containing him. They're coming up. Early looked like the first couple of plays they try to really, put the leather to him and try to, not hurt him, but really let him know he's in the game. Now I think they take the approach, let's just contain him and let the help come because we have such good athletes. They've done a much better job, almost like a passive early and then going in and finishing the job.
3rd and 13, ball at their own 17, 3:47 to play. Rivera overlooks a Spartan defense. He's going to throw. He got a man. He completes it to Ennis in the slot for a 1st down. Actually, he gets it to Stubbs.
Number 3, Rivera to number 2, Anthony Stubbs.
Yeah, Stubbs, I'll tell you, the big play is they took him, did a little play action the other side and just a little pop pass over the middle right down the seam, and good throw, good catch.
That's one of the most effective passes, and you don't see it enough. That little seam, quick pop pass to the tight end.
See Tom Brady do it a lot.
Well, not this year. 1st and 10 at their own 31, 3:24 and counting. They hand it off to Armstead. Armstead tackled after a pickup of about 3. And stopping them is Mike Mooney.
I tell you, that's a big 1st down for Millville because they've been stagnated a little bit here offensively. They haven't done much lately, and that was big to get them out of the shadow of their goalpost. As 3 new players come into the game.
So 2nd and 5. They spotted at the 36.
Just under 3 minutes left in the 3rd period, and they scored at the 8-minute mark in the 1st period and have not been finding the end zone since.
2:50 and counting. Millville trails by 3, 10-7. Rivera in a shotgun, and he fakes a handoff. He throws it over the middle. It's complete, and hit immediately is Elijah Washington. And Washington, he tried to get right up, and now he went and bent back over. That looked like one of those, you got the wind knocked out of your shots.
Exactly, man. He got hit right in the old windbag here, and he's probably sucking air right now. He's going to go down on a knee. In the old days, I had you pant like a dog. I don't know what they do now, but
1st down, Millville.
Get your air back in there. He'll be all right.
Ball at the 43-yard line. Washington just got stuck, and he went down, and he is still down. 10-7 our score. Millville trails. They do have the football. They're on the move at the 43. Just for Wheels, there's a full line of brand new cars available for rent at Just for Wheels. White Horse Pike, Absecon, Rio Grande Avenue in Wildwood, Route 50, Mays Landing, and Perry Egan, 16th and Simpson, Ocean City. They also have conversion vans, trucks, minivans, 15-passenger vans. Be smart, rent it Just for Wheels, serving South Jersey for more than 25 years in Absecon, Wildwood, Mays Landing, Ocean City, Berlin, Lakewood, and Brooklyn, New York. They're open 8:30 a.m. until 7 p.m. daily. That's Just for Wheels. 2:35 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Elijah Washington was able to walk off under his own power, so like you said, I think it's a good call with a wind.
Ennis the single setback behind Rivera. He hands to Ennis, who cuts it back, and he has no place to go. Nice tackle, the linebacker.
Carried by number 5, Robert Ennis.
I'm going to assume we have Jeff Steeb again making that stop.
Jeff Steeb there, and Dennis again was in on the defensive play, so they're getting a lot of action both ways. Dondre Dennis and Jeff Steeb, we've called her name an awful lot defensively.
Just a 3-point gap here in this game, but it feels like Millville has got to be perfect almost every time they try to do something.
Yeah, they're a little surprising. They're playing bunched up. You think they would spread them out and use their speed.
2nd and 10. They give to Ennis. Bounces to the outside. He looks for a crease. There's nowhere to go. And Holy Spirit thinks they might have got a fumble. They're jumping up and down.
5, Robert Ennis.
As Ennis picks up about 2. Holy Spirit has Raheem Harris in there, making a stop from the safety position. 1:37 and counting in the 3rd quarter.
Looks like a little frustration setting on
over
over there on Robert Ennis as he got into a little scuffle afterwards. Lucky there wasn't a penalty.
There's a big 3rd down and 8 on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Frank Woolley, 7-yard touchdown for Ocean City. They lead Middle 22-19. And David Hood over 200 yards and 4 touchdowns in the first half for Apsagami over EHT. 3rd and 8. Shotgun for Rivera. Looking to throw. He fires, and it is complete to Armstead, who breaks a tackle, but he is nowhere near a first down.
Boy, what a good play. What a great play. I think it was Ray Ellis, 52 for Holy Spirit.
Yep.
I believe that's who it is. Boy, Ray Ellis from his inside linebacker spot. What pursuit to come outside. They ran a bubble screen. First guy misses, which is what you look for offensively, but he came from the inside and made a great play.
4th and 6. The punt team is on. That means Brendan Van DeMark is set to punt.
Spears come close to blocking this a couple times.
Low snap. He fumbled it. And DeMark trying to get away, and he has no place to go.
Big play.
Steve got him. That's a game changer.
That is a game changer. They've almost blocked a couple times, but they were coming that time. Low snap. The only mistake I think he made is after he got past the first guy, he should have probably tried to soccer style it away and kick it. He tried to run. He wasn't going to outrun those people.
Well, you look at Van DeMark, he's listed as just a kicker and a punter. He's 6'3", 180, which means, well, he's here just to kick and punt. He's not a football player playing that position.
We talked
He's here
about that
just to
earlier
kick
about
and punt.
Rafici, how athletic he was, and as you said, he can take the ball and decide to run or kick, and just Van DeMark's job is just to punt the ball, not his fault, just a bad snap.
Bad snap. It was low. He couldn't handle it. He picked it up, and now Holy Spirit has 1st and 10 at the 30. In enemy territory. Light under center. Sends a man in motion. Dawson. He pitches to Dawson on the far side. Dawson tries to bounce it to the outside, and a nice play on the far side of the field.
Carried by number 6, Angelo Dawson.
Looks like Obi Kali and Rafquel Armstead in there for Millville.
Willard Woody, I think it was number 4, also was in there coming up from the safety spot. So big play there for Millville, and that's going to end the 3rd period here. Mike would have scored 10-7. Holy
The end
Spirit
of the 3rd quarter. As Steve said, Holy Spirit 10, Millville 7. We got 12 more to play. The Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week, produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Connect with Brian Brummel and the sales staff at Boardwalk Honda on Facebook. This game is brought to you with the best wishes of everyone at Calvi Electric in Atlantic City, who encourage you to come out and support your favorite high school team each and every week. And you like the way they do business at Thomas H. Heights Insurance Agency, their coastal flooding specialist. With over 35 years experience, flood, boat, auto, life, health, they offer it all at the Heights Agency with convenient offices located at 700 West Avenue in Ocean City, 7809 Atlantic Avenue in Margate, in Egg Harbor Township at the Providence Professional Park, in the ShopRite Shopping Center in Marmora, and South Main Road in Vineland. You'll also find them at heistagency.com. (10-7). Holy Spirit with the ball, moving right to left here in the 4th quarter. With 12 minutes to go in the game on the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard. Buna's on the board. They trail 33-13 in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 7, ball at the 27. Light under center. Dennis right behind him. They hand to Dennis. Dennis cuts back, and he goes down immediately. And Antoine White.
Carried by number 44, Dondre Dennis.
Oh, Dennis is a big kid. White's bigger.
Yeah, 6'3", 270. Committed to Penn State. He's actually finishing school this semester, and he'll be in early enrollment at Penn State. Dennis Smith Jr. was telling, Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Williams Jr. was telling me at halftime he is an early commit. He's going to finish his, his high school academically by Christmas, and he'll be at Penn State in the spring. So that gives him a big advantage for him.
Big play here, 3rd and 4. Ball at the 24-yard line. They need to stop a loss, something. Light, hands to Gerald. Gerald plunges forward. He got a first down up at the 20-yard line. I think he just got it.
I don't know. Their spot doesn't look like they're giving it to him. I thought he was over the 20. They're calling a little short. It's going to be close. Well, I thought he had.
It looked like he handily had it.
I thought he was a yard over.
And right where they spotted it, looks like it is clearly fourth down. What do you do here? Fourth and one.
You got to go here. You know, it's 21-yard line. You're talking 7, 28, 30, almost 40-yard field goal. Probably a little bit risky. So you go here with your horses. I'd be surprised they don't give it to Dennis up the middle. To be honest with you.
Fourth and one. Ball at the 21. Spartans are going for it.
And they're spreading them out. They got 2 wide receivers.
Debo to the near side.
Still think they're going to give it Dennis up the middle here.
Taylor to the far side. Dennis in the backfield. And what do we got? A timeout taken on the field. Holy Spirit wants to talk it over with 10:28 to play. Crucial play for Millville. They trail 10-7. The Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week, produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN. Connect with Brian Brummel and the sales staff at Boardwalk Honda on Facebook. Harbor Pines Golf Club, Egg Harbor Township, hosting the St. Joe's. Ooh. Wrong one. You work hard at the gym every day. Your goal is to get quality lean muscle mass and keep it your favorite supplement at a really great prices at Rock Bottom Supplements. Reach your goal faster with the help of Rock Bottom Supplements, located in the Island Gym Plaza, Tilton Road, Northfield. Whether your goal is to get harder or put on 15 pounds, Rock Bottom has the products to help you get there. Rock Bottom Supplements, 801 Tilton Road in Northfield. Enough said. And Calvi Electric has been proudly serving South Jersey for over 100 years. Whether it's a major electrical overhaul or just a hard-to-read light bulb, call Calvi Electric, 345-0151, or go to calvielectric.com. I'm sure they're very interested in this 4th and 1 play. Light under center. Looking over the Millville defense that's obviously coming after him. Light. Hands. He missed it. He missed it. And he falls forward. He might have got it.
Doesn't matter. Legal procedure. Both of the wingbacks went in motion at the same time.
There's the flags.
Big play. I think he did get it, as you said, but they're going to bring.
That was another play.
Although again, they're spotting the ball short of the 20.
Illegal shift. Now
I want to see him.
I would.
They'll see if they
measure and
Absolutely.
then decline. That's the 3rd or 4th time that the quarterback has spun and no one's been there.
Well, again, in his defense, I'm sure he doesn't get a lot of reps. Although, you got to be able to step in. They always say, you're the backup quarterback. You're one play away from being a starter. And obviously, that's what's happening here. But I'll tell you again by the spot, I don't know if he made it.
On the Atlantic City Electric scoreboard, Mainland 21-14 over Oakcrest. LaDarrell Dixon with over 100 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns at the half in that one. St. Augustine still leads Bridgeton, and they are short, so they will decline the penalty. And Millville's going to get the ball back with 10:19 to play. That's a huge play.
Huge play. Not only for stopping them at the 20-yard line, but also momentum shift. And again, it was, it looked like Holy Spirit made outsmart himself there a little bit. They tried to go long count and jump off sides. Usually what you like to do is go first down there, get your offense set, go first down so nobody jumps. And they tried to, out-discipline a little bit, and it came out to bite them a little bit because you said not only did they not get it, but they had 2 guys in motion because they waited too long.
1st and 10 at the 20, their own 20. Rivera pitches to Ennis. Ennis cuts it up the middle with a little room, bounces to the outside, and down he goes.
Well, I'll tell you, that was a good tackle.
Rafici.
Well, that was a big play because he's gone if he misses him there.
If Rafici's 6'2", 240, he's playing at Penn State.
He's playing anywhere in the country. Let me tell you, if he's 6'2", 240, if he's 6'1", 200, he's playing anywhere in the country.
2nd and 4.
And I'll tell you, Holy Spirit is daring Millville to throw the ball, play action on first down. That last play, they had 11 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Ball at the 26. Rivera in shotgun. He's going to hand it. Nope, he's going to keep it himself. Pulls to the outside. Rivera trying to fall forward, and he falls short.
Rivera, we talked about, had a really good game so far, but he made a big mistake there. He had a good block by his wide receiver, blocking the defender outside. And instead of cutting in, he ran outside right into the tackle. Cost him 5 yards at least. Got some
Third down
new
and
players
1.
coming in offensively. We talked about the name defensively from Millville all day. Is Edward Shockey's coming in. Play tight end, see if they use him in the passing game.
Third down.
Something went wrong there. They went quarterback sneak.
It was third and one.
I don't think he made it. It's going to be close. No, he didn't make it. Oh, yes, they gave it to him. Wow. That's right, because they're inside the 20. That was there's the difference, though. They want an early count, Mike. Boom, they got it. You know, they didn't let the defense settle in or allow time for their offense to make a mistake.
First and 10. Ball at the 31. 8:40 and counting here. Millville trails by 3. We're in the fourth quarter. Mike Gill, Steve Parker on 97.3 ESPN.
All defenders within 9 yards of the line of scrimmage for Holy Spirit.
Rivera under center. They give to Ennis. Ennis tries to get forward. He runs right into that line, and then he seems like he does it on purpose almost. Like he tries to bump and then bounce.
I'll tell you, we don't talk about the offensive lineman a whole lot, but here's number 62, Obi Kalai, I believe his name is. And I'll tell you what, he just drove the guy 5 yards downfield.
And Ennis is down.
We talk about that. Robert Ennis is down, and he's not moving at the 35-yard line. He's waving his hands a little bit, some kind of injury, because he's pounding the ground in a little bit of pain.
So Millville trails by 3, second down and 7. Don't forget the live video. If you're driving in your car and you want to see the end of this game, go to 973ESPN.com. Matt Ulmer from Ulmer's Appliance Service has that live video for you, and you can see Robert Ennis down on the ground.
At the field house.
Oh, hot dogs are just $1. You hear that?
Dog night.
Here we go.
I'll take 5.
The Boardwalk On Game of the Week is produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Connect with Brian Bermel and the sales staff at Boardwalk Honda on Facebook.
We run ironic that one of the best players for both teams have been injured here, and he looks like he's grabbing his knee also. What happened to T.J. Anderson earlier, although he's now got his hands up in the air, but he looks like he's in some pain, Mike.
Yeah, you can see he's down. He was first on his stomach. Now he rolled over, and now he's getting up. So Ennis, who's a key part, obviously, but much like Anderson, he is hobbling off the field, and losing Ennis would be huge in these last 8 minutes here.
I'll tell you, Holy Spirit, give him credit, though. Since the early touchdown run, they've held him in check.
They really have, but he could break one at any time, and you wonder, Steve, you lose a running back like that, you put the game in the quarterback's hands, or do you go to the backup running back?
Well, some other guys have ran the ball pretty effectively. Armstead has ran a couple times pretty well, but I think they'll definitely open up their playbook a little bit.
Second and 6.
They're doing it right now, shotgun.
Into the game. Looks like Dijon Brown at running back. And they fake it to him. And they throw one over the middle. It's complete, near first down yardage. And it's complete out of the slot there to Elijah Washington.
I'll tell you what, real good job by Rivera with a ball fake there. I thought he handled the ball number 29, who is Lawson Worthy, who was in the backfield. And he did not, obviously, and it's going to be 3rd and 1 again. See if they go quick count quarterback sneak like they did last time.
So Armstead coming off 3rd and 1, ball at the 40. They'll get 2 shots at this one with 7:35 to go. And they hand it to the fullback, who got hit initially and then pushed backwards. And Anthony Stubbs, the fullback, looks like he got it on second effort.
Yeah, that's just a dive play when he up back from the eye. He's been successful. Again, clock winding, 7:20 left in the 4th period. Millville at their own 41-yard line. Field goal will tie. Touchdown will put them ahead here in the 4th quarter.
Ennis is off the field. He's injured, but he is running around on the sidelines here, so he might be trying to get back in this game. 1st and 10, ball at the 41. Rivera in a shotgun, overlooking the Spartan defense. Sends a man in motion. And he gives to Worthy. Worthy with no place to go, and right there to make a tackle immediately is DeAndre Dennis.
I'll tell you, he's been a stud for them defensively. Now he's done a nice job in the linebacker spot.
DeAndre Dennis.
2nd and 10, no gain on the play. Ball at the 41. 6:37 to play and counting.
And it looks like he's getting a little looser here. See on the sideline, you said first thing he's got to do is convince the training staff that he's okay.
Shotgun formation. 2 receivers in the backfield. They fake to Worthy. They go down the field, and Rivera's pass well over the head of Gabriel Rosado. Little play action out of the shotgun there.
Actually, double play action. It was very unusual. 2 fakes, but the Holy Spirit did a nice job. What Millville could do, I'm sure the coaches would see this. They had 3 receivers this side. The other side of the field, the linebacker rotated over. They needed to send somebody, I think, try to get single coverage on the field side of the ball instead of going to the boundary side here.
Brian Eldridge into the game for Millville now. Also Kareem Lothman, who splits to the near side.
Like Ennis has got the okay to go back in.
The Spartan faithful on their feet. 3rd and 10, ball at their own 41 for Millville. And it looks like
smart play. Millville's going to call a timeout so they can get Ennis back in the ballgame.
Timeout, Millville.
Yeah, now Ennis is ready to go, so he's back onto the field. But that means they only have 1 timeout the rest of the way with 6:18 left to play.
Yeah, but if my best player's ready to go and I got the ball 3rd down, you know, at this point in the game, I got to get him in the game. I got to use that timeout.
Good crowd here. Both sides have people wrapped around these fences here at Wheaton Field, one of the better venues in the Cape Atlantic League to watch a game. And from where we are, kind of offset from the stands, this is like a 4-bedroom apartment over here. We got all sorts of rooms.
Well, they got 3 levels and 5 rooms and plenty of good food at halftime.
Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week, produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN. Boardwalk Honda wants your car, and they're paying top dollar. Visit boardwalkhonda.com. 3rd and 10. Ball at the 41. You go for it here if you don't get it?
Well, I think it depends on how much you have to go. If it's 1 or 2, yes. If not, I think you got to put them back. They got a backup quarterback in there, so you got to let your defense do their job.
Ennis back into the game for Millville. Rivera to throw. He pump fakes. He fires, and it is complete. What a catch! Right at the sticks. At the 48-yard line is Itrell Young. What a catch.
What a dart. What a throw, too, though.
In traffic, too. Right in front of 3 Spartan defenders.
There you talk about these are kicks off for him, and he's the place kicker, too. 5'4", 130 pounds. Big play by the little guy.
1st and 10 into enemy territory at the 48. Armstead in the backfield, and there's a bad snap, but Rivera picked it up, and he just dives to the ground. So a huge loss on the play.
Bad snap.
Yeah, that was a huge loss. It's going to be almost a 10-yard loss. It's going to bring up 2nd 20. They're back on the other side of the 50-yard line. It's a big play and inopportune time there. It looked like it set up a screen that time as they had some players over here, some linemen in front.
2nd and 20. Ball at their own 42 now. So a huge loss. The snap just went down to the ground between Rivera's legs.
Don't want to try to get all of it back here. Just get half of them so you can have a 3rd down and manageable.
2 receivers to the far side. They send Ennis in motion to the near side. Rivera to throw. They set up a screen, and it's a huge gainer. Potentially a huge gainer until making a great play was Franco Raffici, who Edward Shockley caught a screen pass. It looked like he had just acres of yards, and then Raffici came bolting out of nowhere to make a tackle.
Well, the mistake that the receiver made is he tried to go sideways and outrun people. He puts his, he goes out the field, he's going to get 5 or 6 more, a little more manageable. But Raffici and A.J. Dawson came up, big play, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
3rd and 18 is the long. Ball at the 44, 4:38 to play. Rivera in shotgun, empty backfield. The throw, good time. Rivera looking, still looking. Got nobody to help. Rivera now fires, and it is going to be, did he catch it on the far side of the field?
Oh, no, it went through his arms.
Pass is incomplete.
Went through his arms. Boy, he had it. The throw was there. It would have been short, would have been 4th and 4. Now what do you do with 4 minutes left? I think you got to punt the ball.
Punt unit's coming out, and remember, a bad snap the last time.
1 timeout left, too.
Yeah, with 4:19, a team that likes to run the ball, they're in a tough spot now. But 4th and 18 is just too much. I mean, you look for a fake here potentially.
Nah, I think you got to punt it. If you're gonna go for it, you go use your offense, get your best players. So you're not gonna have a young punter, I don't think.
4th and 18. Good snap. Punt is off. It's a high end over end. It bounces to 30, and it takes a Thunderbolts roll. So right around the 22-yard line, Holy Spirit will have the ball back with 4:09 to play in the football game.
I'll tell you, there's something that, I saw one of the coaches, those special team coaches, running down there telling a guy to pick the ball up. They're taught to let it run, get a little more clock, but you want to stop the clock. Those 2-3 yards don't mean anything for you. Keep some time on the clock, They lost a few seconds and hopefully won't hurt them at the end of the game.
4:09 to play, 1 timeout left for Millville. They trail by 3. The Spartans get the football back. Remember, TJ Anderson, he had a 62-yard touchdown run, and that's the only touchdown for Holy Spirit, and he's out of the game. Andrew Light is in at quarterback, and he has been since early in the second quarter. Light under center. He hands the ball off, and Dawson, up around the 30-yard line, pick up about 6.
Big first down play there, as I said. A.J. Dawson went behind, just ran power behind 2 blockers. 2nd and 6. I'm sure you're going to see them just try to grind out a couple first downs. Probably 2 first downs will put this game almost out of reach for Millville with only 1 timeout left.
3:40 and counting. 2nd and 5. Ball to 28. Remember, Spirit had a 3rd and 1, and then a 4th and 1, and didn't get it.
This is where an experienced quarterback will start looking for the back judge who does the clock. He'll start giving you a 5-second count. You can use as much clock as you can.
Sends a man in motion. They pitch it to the motion man, who is Gerald, who tries to get to the outside, and he goes down. Well, that one looked like it could have been a bigger loss.
Yeah, that was almost a big mistake by Gerald as he gave ground there. But again, if you watch the back judge here, Mike, on the near sideline, you get under center, an experienced quarterback, you want to run clock, you look right at him. He'll start giving you a hand signal with 5 seconds left. So you can use more clock. They snapped that time with about 6 or 7. Holy Spirit wants to run as much clock as they can here.
3rd and 6, he lost a yard. Ball at their own 27. There's under 3 minutes with 2:53 on the clock. Don't forget, post-game coverage coming up. We're just at the top of the 9 o'clock hour here.
Would not be surprised Holy Spirit used a timeout. There's already 5 seconds. They're going to get delay a game. There it is.
And there it is. Good call by you, Steve Parker.
See, that's something that they got to get the young quarterback. No, you got to find him when he starts that clock. You got to snap the ball.
Delay the game. So it's 3rd and 11. Steve Parker was all over that.
I've had young quarterbacks play for me. I had to teach that to a couple times. I said, come on, guys, we got to pick that up.
Well, you wonder, that one 3rd and 11.
Sure changes the play.
Things up.
Sure does.
And the ball's at their own 22.
Can't believe they're going to throw the ball here. Their defense done such a good job. You can't put the ball up in the air here. Real gutsy if they do, especially with a backup quarterback in there.
So 3rd and 11, ball at their own 22-yard line. See where Spartans set up here. Light under center. The receiver to the near side. Light to throw.
Wow.
And he's got a man, and it is caught on the far side by Taylor. Jordan Taylor caught it. One-on-one coverage with Armstead, and that could be the play of the year.
Not only what a play, but what a call, what a throw by Light, the quarterback. I did not see him throwing a ball there. They showed the utmost confidence in the young guy. Threw it up, incomplete pass, stops the clock. Nothing good can happen there unless they make that play. And I think that is, as you said, absolutely the play of the game. Andrew Light on the money. I'll tell you what a great throw.
But Taylor went up, and great coverage, too, by Armstead. 1st and 10 at the 44. They hand off to Gerald, and Gerald falls forward, pick up a 2.
Millville's only got 1 timeout, and they're going to use it right here. Boy, what a big play again. We said that's just a huge play. Huge play, and I can't give enough credit, you said, to receiver, but also to Andrew Light, the young junior quarterback. I'll tell you what a throw. Put it where the receiver could go and get it. And gutsy call, too, by Holy Spirit.
Timeout by Millville with 2:10 left, so now they're out of timeouts as well. So that's it for them. I mean, virtually, Holy Spirit on 2nd and 7 with no timeouts left in the game.
1 first down will do it. They get past the sticks, they can take a knee.
Taylor with one-on-one coverage. Now, Jordan Taylor, 6'4", 195. if you're him, he's got to be a little frustrated at times. I've seen him make some great plays. They only throw him the ball once or twice a game, though.
He went up, as you said, he went up and just took it away. Good coverage. Better throw, better catch. That's all you can do. Give him credit.
2nd and 7. Ball at the 41. 2:10 left to play. As Millville with an all-out blitz, and they break it.
There it is, number 6.
Dawson, 41 yards later, into the end zone for a Spartan touchdown. Millville won with an all-out blitz, and Holy Spirit beat him up the middle.
Again, that's just, again, we can't talk about what a great play, great run there, but I'll tell you, the play of the game still is the quarterback dropping back and throwing that play, and Holy Spirit having a confidence to let him throw it. That, to me, is amazing, and just a tribute to the Holy Spirit, to their staff, and to make that call. John Anucci, a running coach, well, he put it up big time and got single coverage.
So Holy Spirit goes ahead 16-7 after Dawson's 41-yard touchdown run to make it a 9-point game with the extra point from Rafici coming. Kick is up, and it's no good. So with 2:02 left, 16-7, Holy Spirit leads Millville. It's the Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week, produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Check out Boardwalk Honda's online inventory at boardwalkhonda.com. Under the Flood Insurance Reform Act of 2012, you could save more than $90,000 over 10 years if you build 3 feet above base flood elevation. The all-star staff at Baumgartner House Lifting can attend all your house raising needs. The Baumgartner family, 65 years combining experience in general construction. Visit baumgartnerhouselifting.com or call toll-free 855-324-2700. Baumgartner House Lifting, restoring the Jersey Shore one home at a time. Mike Gill and Steve Parker on 97.3 ESPN. Holy Spirit has probably run the ball 60 times tonight. Throws the ball on 3rd and 11 from their own 22. And that's the difference in the game right now.
Absolutely the difference in the game. That is the play of the game. And again, just not only the throw and the catch executed, but the confidence in the Holy Spirit to call that play. I mean, I said before the play, I said there's no way they're letting this backup quarterback who hasn't got a lot of snaps throw that ball. And that's exactly what they do. Millville was thinking right along with me. And although the coverage was good.
Very good.
Coverage, just a better play.
Raquel Armstead, great coverage. You might say, why the backup quarterback? TJ Anderson went down. Andrew Light into the game. Rafici to kick with 2:02 to play. It's a long, high kick taken at about the 10-yard line by Armstead. Armstead out across the 30-yard line, so about 70 yards to go. Now they're down by 9, so a 2-point conversion doesn't help them here. Still need 2 scores. No timeouts left either, so really Millville's in a tough spot here. But I think they showed that they can play with one of the best teams in the area for that Group 5 playoffs. This has to build some confidence for them.
I'll tell you what, you got to give Holy Spirit a lot of credit though. When you lose your quarterback in a game of this magnitude, when you still come out with a win, that says a lot about your team. Because Anderson also is one of their better defensive players.
Rivera to throw. Over the middle, incomplete. He's intending for Etrell Young. Good protection tonight, too, by Millville. It seems like they got away from that passing game, but they were getting some good protection.
Yes, they were. They like you said, they had a couple opportunities. They weren't able to cash in on, but give Holy Spirit defensive credit. Once Ennis, he went, put a long run, Robert Ennis, at 41-yard run at 8-minute mark of the first period. Since then, they've shut him down.
1:51 to play, 2nd and 10. Rivera to throw. Fires over the middle, and it is overthrown as he just trying to air it out to Raquel Armstead.
Yeah, it's tough to throw over everybody's head here. They're playing 30 yards off the ball. You got to maybe try a crossing pattern, hope the guy breaks a tackle.
This might be the biggest test that Holy Spirit's going to have the rest of the year. I mean, that includes if they make it to the finals of the Group 2 non-public, this is probably their biggest test the rest of the way. I mean, next week,
on paper, you look at besides the Thanksgiving rivalry, Atlantic City, of course, going to go anyway. But besides that, they're playing 3 teams that don't have a victory this year. they got 3 teams that are 0 and whatever.
3rd and 10. Flag thrown in the backfield, and the pass is incomplete.
That's probably going to be a hold, look like back here. And I'll tell you, Ray Ellis put a lot of pressure on the quarterback end again, Rivera. I'm sure Holy Spirit's going to decline it.
You look at Holy Spirit playing Lower Cape May next week. That's obviously
mismatch,
a very tough matchup for Lower, who, quite frankly, really got a bad draw in the crossover game there. I mean, Lower at this point, I think admittedly, is not prepared to step up in competition at that level. And quite frankly, Holy Spirit probably doesn't want to play a game like that either.
Then they have Egg Harbor Township. We talk about how they're really struggling, giving up 30 points a game without a victory. And then Oakcrest, who's also without a victory and losing tonight to Mainland at this point.
Well, EHT beat Oakcrest on opening night, so they do have one win.
That's correct.
Here's Rivera going to run for a first down with 1:20. It was 4th and 10 to play, and Rivera got a first down, so they keep the drive alive with 1:23. The clock stops.
I stand correct. I did. Oh, that's right. EHT did come back and beat Oakcrest the first game, as you said, but
they have been
really
quite
struggling.
frankly embarrassed the last 3 or 4 matchups. I mean, they got shut out by Hamilton, St. Joe's, and now tonight they're getting beat pretty handily by Absegami. Rivera throws, and it's nearly intercepted.
Pass falls incomplete. 2nd down.
Don't forget, next Saturday, we've got another good game for you with St. Joe's taking on Atlantic City. Now, Atlantic City winning tonight against Buna keeps them alive in Group 4, and they have been one of those teams that can surprise you and play. If they play their game of the year, they can knock off a team any week.
I'll tell you what. We talk about some of the coaches. The Cape Ann League, Thomas Kelly gets credit, but doesn't get enough credit. My view. Every year that team seems to get better week after week. They start off sometimes a little slower, but I tell you, when it comes to big time end of the season, playing Holy Spirit or playoff time, seems like they're at their peak. It's what you're looking for in your team.
Rivera airs one out, and he just throws one down to center field. It's intercepted, and it looks like Raheem Harris has it. He's still on his feet before he goes out of bounds, and that's going to put the icing on the cake on this one, but not before a fight from Millville tonight. And Steve Parker, Holy Spirit, got all they could handle tonight, but they're going to stay undefeated.
I'll tell you what, they really deserve the number 1 ranking. They showed tonight. They showed what a good football team they are. They came up here in the Millville's field, Wheaton Field here, where the atmosphere was crazy. They scored right away. Millville answers with a big run by Ennis, but since then their defense has just been outstanding. They lose their quarterback, early in the second period. Rafici makes big plays, makes a field goal. Their defense has just been outstanding. We talk, over and over about Steve and Ellis and Rafici, and these guys have just played tremendous. AJ Dawson, they are just really, really good football team. And they overcame a few miscues. We talked about a couple of snafus down by the goal line. They had some snaps, that were mishandled in a fumble. And kudos go out again to Andrew Light for the job he's done. Stepped in here, and taking his team to victory.
Made a big throw when he needed it. Light and Taylor connected on a 3rd and 11 from the 22-yard line, and that is the play of the game. The Boardwalk Honda Game of the Week, produced by Prime Events on 97.3 ESPN FM. Check out their online inventory at boardwalkhonda.com. We always appreciate Brian Brumell and the staff over there who support these local athletes and sponsor these Cape Atlantic League events every Friday night here on 97.3 ESPN. A flag on the play as Holy Spirit took a delay of the game. 16-7 is going to be the final score. Tyler Donahue is going to have scores and highlights from around the Cape Atlantic League coming up in the post-game show right here on 97.3 ESPN. He's going to take you up till 10 o'clock tonight. He'll have scores and highlights and interviews with the reporters who are at all these games. And although every reporter, I think, in the area was at this game tonight, you had literally, I think, 6 or 7 newspapers here tonight. Couple of radio stations, some television, and of course 97.3 ESPN's coverage continues till 10 o'clock. We offer the best coverage every Friday night. Good to work with you, Steve Parker. Good game tonight.
Great game, Mike. Good work with you. And I'll tell you what, great high school atmosphere, great high school football game here.
That's right. 16-7 our final score here at Wheaton Field in Millville. Tyler Donahue has the 97.3 ESPN postgame show. It's coming up next. We'll talk to you next week with another game of the week on 97.3 ESPN. Good night, everybody.
Well, let's talk about, first off, TJ gets hurt. What's going through your mind right off the bat?
I got like butterflies in my stomach. It's not a good scene. Starting quarterback all banged up, senior quarterback, coming in there trying to perform just as well as he is not tough. It's not an easy task at all. It's tough.
All right, 3rd down and 11, ball at your own 22, and that play call comes in. What's your thoughts?
Play comes in. I'm just like, I got to get this. I can't let my teammates down. This is all on me. This is just it's a team effort out here, It's not all on me at all. Go back, look back. I just heave one out there to a good receiver.
Were you surprised that was the play call there?
I was very surprised, actually. I didn't think Coach had that much faith in me toward the end there, but he did, which I'm happy about. And see him come down with the ball is fantastic.
Congratulations,
Thank
man.
you.
Let's first talk about you come out right out of the gates with a 62-yard run there. Did you think it was going to be a little easier?
No, we had some things ready for them, and then we had to switch gears after TJ got hurt. I mean, he's a hell of a football player, and I thought we'd put about 30 or 40. I really thought we'd put 30 or 40 on the board tonight, but and that's not against them. I just think we're that good offensively with him at quarterback, and we had to switch gears and we had to suck it up, and the kids did a great job, and I couldn't say enough about their heart.
Now, you had to switch it up when TJ went out. What kind of change? What did you have to change?
We became a power football team. You didn't see too many balls being pitched in the option. You saw us being a power football team. And I told the kids, this is where you got to reach inside and find out what you have inside. They talk about football exposes character. You either have it or you don't. Well, we found out we have it tonight. And I can't say enough about our defense. If we're not the best defense in South Jersey, maybe in the state, nobody is.
What do you think of your quarterback Light, who came in and really,
He did what he had to do. He was nervous, but he did what he had to do. He made typical first games, but what can you ask? We needed a crucial throw, and he made it there, and Jordan goes up and makes a great play. And I was going to call that play a bunch of times with TJ in there, but, I didn't want to put it on him, but he made a great throw, and he did a great job. And, I kept just telling him, just relax and manage the game. We have seniors on this football team. They'll win the game for you. And in the end, we wore them down, and I think we did a great job. I still can't say enough about the defense. I mean, we were as physical a football team as you're going to find today. I mean, I don't know how many guys went limping off the field for them. You got
Congrats.
it.